So far, our course has encountered a number of scientific and technical discoveries that emanated from the pre-modern Islamic Middle East. Some inventions created tangible objects, such as improved irrigation networks and navigation instruments, while others were theoretical, such as legal frameworks for financial instruments, which facilitated Muslim world commerce and which spread to Italian city-states. The adage, necessity is the mother of invention, is apt to understand many of these developments. New practical needs of the developing societies across the pre-modern Middle East stimulated scientific inquiry, but natural sciences for their own sake were widely studied too. For example, the 10th century scholar Al-Biruni calculated the Earth's radius to an accuracy of 99%, and many of his contemporaries excelled in astronomy, physics, mathematics, and other natural sciences. Scholars embraced wide-ranging interests, and they traveled widely too. Al-Biruni himself visited India and wrote a text on Indian culture and Hindu religion. The spirit of inquiry is epitomized in Al-Biruni's responses to those he called stubborn critics who questioned the benefit of science. He said, in counter, and these are his words, "It is the pursuit of knowledge which distinguishes mankind from animals. Knowledge is pursued solely by man, and he pursues it for the sake of knowledge itself, because its acquisition is truly delightful." In some cases, science was particularly helped along by state sponsorship too. Muslim rulers were deeply interested in astrology, because they believed that good and bad fortune could be read in the stars, and so they needed astrologers on hand for pondering the possibilities of the future, including when to plan succession ceremonies or when to wage campaigns. So, astrologers studied the night skies assiduously, and as a result, we now have Arabic manuscripts about solar and lunar eclipses and the appearance of comets, alongside extensive and important work medieval astronomers undertook to update Greco-Roman star charts. These were later updated again in Europe, and European astronomers kept many of the Arabic terms. The names for stars and constellations today, such as Achernar, Akrab, or Aldebaran, are Latinized approximations of stellar names coined by Muslim astronomers. Back to Earth, the functions of the human body, medical formulae, and chemical processes were also the subject of extensive investigation in the Islamic Middle East, alongside philosophical debates on the human condition, relationships between the animal and the human world, and philosophies of language. And whimsical creations also emerged from the medieval curiosity. There was, for example, a water clock in the shape of an elephant with a precisely designed flow that produced a chime on every half hour. The 13th century Iraqi scholar Al-Jazari, who worked at a court in Anatolia, composed a whole book on such mechanical devices, including water clocks, automated chess players, wine cup fillers, and machines to wash one's hands. For a deep understanding of the efflorescence of medieval Muslim science and curiosity, we will want to probe the connections and the influences that enabled it. Biographical literature reveals how medieval scientists traveled across the Muslim world, joining their insights and techniques in a flourishing dialogue. And also, they had an intimate dialogue with the past. The Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Indians, and Chinese all developed sciences in their day, and medieval Middle Eastern scholars translated and worked from these legacies. Renaissance and early modern era Europeans made Latin translations of the Arabic in turn, and so the progress of invention and innovation continued into the modern period. The list of discoveries and innovations would extend long beyond this introduction, but we can see in broad overview that Middle Eastern scientific inquiry began with the translation and incorporation of past legacies, which were then extensively advanced by a wide range of scholars across the breadth of the Islamic world, from Andalusia to Central Asia. The most famous of their works grew in demand beyond the bounds of states ruled by Muslims, and Arabic manuscripts were translated into Latin some 500 to 600 years ago, which paved a foundation for European Renaissance discoveries, as we shall see next.